beyond all the policies that the government have, at the end of the day, the individuals, the parents, come into contact with their employers day in, day out. They go into the work environment day in, day out. What they experience will shape their perception towards a family. How pro-family are the employers' practices will shape and influence decisions made by the individuals. How we design our living environment, how we design even our recreation environments will send a signal to everyone how welcoming we as a society is towards families and families with young kids. How we as a community respond to children screaming among us, running around us. Do we frown upon them? Or do we look at them with appreciative eyes? That speaks to the young parents deciding whether to have the child or not. So I agree with all members that we all have a responsibility to play in making this pro-family environment, whether is it in the neighborhood or is it in the workplace. We all can do our part. But ultimately, that decision to start a family and have children is a deeply personal one. We can have all the correct policies, we can have all the correct incentives and benefits, we can have all the help schemes in the world. But if at the end of the day, our individual priorities and value systems are not towards having a family, then no matter what policies, what help schemes we have, we will never be able to have that pro-family mindset. We are not doing this because we are trying to see babies as economic digits. Never suggested. We want Singaporeans to have happy families because this is part and parcel of having a meaningful life in Singapore beyond having a meaningful career. So no, children are not economic digits. Children are part of our family life. And it saddens me when people take out a balance sheet to try and calculate all the pluses and minuses financially, numerically, before they decide to make that leap of faith. I'm sure our parents, with much less than us, never did that before they conceived us. If they have done that, maybe we won't be where we are. We won't even be here today. But it is a deeply personal choice. What we can do is to make sure that we educate our people, our young people, and help them at every stage of their life cycle. This is the reason why MSF has embarked on this Family Matters initiative. It is a life cycle approach towards promoting family life, getting our people to share in the joys of family from young till they go out to work, and even after they have their children. At every stage of their life cycle. From young, we have to start inculcating in our youth the appreciation of family lives, that the family is the anchor of all that we do, and it gives meaning to all that we do. When they are older, we try and help them to have opportunities to meet their life partners, to settle down, and so forth. Even after they get married, we try to give them help to make sure that we lessen the burden and the fear of starting a family. That is important. But I'm quite sure it won't yield us benefits in the short term, because this is a long-term challenge. It takes us many years to build that pro-family environment and mindset. And we want to make this possible across the entire environment, from the workplace to the community, which is why we're going to spend $40 million in the next 3 years to encourage the environment, to work with employers, to work with community partners to bring that about. And we want to use all channels, all mediums, to send this message forth. And that is important. But if we get this right, then we will never talk about children as being a digit, because children becomes an intrinsic part of our family, a part of our meaning in life, and so forth. So this is what we seek to do. So at the end of the day, whether we talk about the MMP package at the macro level, the TFR at the macro level, at the end of the day, it boils down to individual decisions at the micro level. And this is where we need to have our values right, our priorities right, and then we can go forth and build the community that is pro-family, that business environment that's pro-family, and so forth. And the government will continue and endeavour to make sure that we walk this journey with all fellow Singaporeans. The government will make sure that the macro environment is right, that we move on the correct trajectories to encourage the second circle, the businesses, the work environment, and so forth to do their part. But at the end of the day, we have to get the individual values and priorities right, without which the rest will not work. So on that note, I'd like to thank all members of the House for your support for this bill. And I'm quite sure that with time, we will continue to evolve our policies to meet the changing needs of our society. And I hope that we can all walk this journey together, and each of us doing our parts to encourage a more pro-family environment, to encourage that sense of love for our children. Thank you.